Hey, Chris here. Today I'd like to talk about something we all love, and that is how to deal with dirty clothes when we travel. If you're like me, I've been on so many trips that I usually don't think about this until I'm at least 1 or 2 days in. And then I realize I have a pile of dirty clothes that I have to do something with. So whether you're flying or whether you're car traveling, just wanted to give some tips and suggestions that I've used in the past. And I really want to focus on things that are very low cost and lightweight and something that's not going to take up a lot of space in your bag. Also, I would love for you to share any kind of tips or suggestions or things that you've used that could potentially help someone else. So with that being said, let's go ahead and jump right into this. So the first two items I want to talk about are going to be super lightweight and also very inexpensive. So like I mentioned to begin with, if you're like me, so many trips I've taken, the last thing I'm thinking about is a way to transport my dirty clothes. So what it's come down to is most hotel rooms, in the closet there will be a laundry bag. So I've taken advantage of this multiple times. So if you do forget bringing something to transport your dirty clothing, just remember there is a bag in the closet that you can usually grab and put those dirty clothes in. The only downfall to this is if you're on a longer top trip, your space will be limited in this bag. Another very inexpensive and lightweight method is just a Ziploc bag. And I know this is a quart size bag, but if you're looking into the gallon, and even a 2-gallon Ziploc bag gives you quite a bit more capacity. So again, usually for a shorter top trip, but if you're going to have clothes, especially if you're somewhere that's hot, that could be kind of sweaty, smelly, or if you're going to have bathing suits because you're swimming, or even have an indoor pool that may not dry before you leave. Again, very effective to keep those separate from your other items in your bag or even other dirty clothes. So normally you can find the gallon size Ziploc bags for about $2 to $4. So to me, very inexpensive and can definitely help out trying to transport some of those dirty clothing. So let's move on and look at a couple more, a little bit more expensive but also effective ways to transport your dirty clothes. So the next two items I want to look at do have a little bit more of a cost to them, but they're still very lightweight and take up very little space in your bag or your pack. So the first thing I want to look at is just kind of a collapsible mesh bag. And this is usually my preferred method when I do travel because, again, very small form factor, but when you undo this, it's going to actually give you quite a bit of space to throw those dirty clothes in. So I absolutely love this. And I did find this at Academy Sports for approximately $5 to $6. I've had it for a couple of years. So I'm sure Amazon and other sites like that probably have something very similar. The next thing I want to look at is just having a dry sack. And I love when I travel having items that can possibly serve different roles and functions. And I think this is a perfect example. So I love having this in my pack when I'm around town or maybe going for a short hike to have just in case you run into a rainstorm or storm, and it's going to definitely protect those items you don't want to get wet. Plus you think about having dirty clothes, perfect place to put those dirty clothes, especially if they're wet or have some kind of odor to them. And next I do want to finish up with probably the number one way that I transport and keep my dirty clothes separate from the other things I travel with. So the last item or way to transport your dirty clothes I'd like to talk about is just your packing cubes. And what I really like about using packing cubes is that you already have these with you and they're easily accessible to go ahead and repack all your dirty clothes back into. Specifically, one I love to use is the Clean Dirty Cube from Eagle Creek. This is a size medium. And what I like about this one so much is that it does have one side that has kind of a plastic lining, and you do have another side with just kind of a mesh pocket. But talking about those damp and clothes that do have an odor, it does allow you to keep those separate from some of your other items or dirty clothes that you're already packing. So I know many times in the past I've talked about loving to travel light and small whenever I can. This gives you the ability to do so because you already have your packing cubes with you. You're not having to pack anything additional when you travel. So love using packing cubes for my dirty clothes. And a lot of times that last day or last night that I'm traveling, again, I just go ahead and repack everything back into my packing cubes because I know it's going to easily fit back into whatever bag I'm using to travel with. So again, just wanted to quickly cover some inexpensive, lightweight items that could potentially be used when you do have the issue of trying to find a way to transport your dirty clothes. And like I mentioned to begin with, I would absolutely love to hear what you use to deal with your dirty clothes. Because again, I know when I'm traveling, a lot of times I do forget to bring anything additional. So that's why I love having packing cubes that I can go ahead and put all my dirty clothes back into. So again, any suggestions or comments that you have, please feel free to leave those. So as always, thank you so much for taking time to watch. I greatly appreciate it. Please like and subscribe, and don't forget to leave those comments. Again, thank you so much.